Howdy folks, welcome back to 50 Nautical Mile Arc. It is a foggy, overcast morning in Oxford, Ohio. This is leg 12 of our Transcontinental series. Since the previous video was leg 11, I'm not going to go into detail of what the series is. We're just going to get started right away. So if you haven't seen any other legs of the series, I invite you to at least watch leg 11. And I invite you to watch a few more legs as well. And I'll have detail of what this series is all about in other legs. But this one, we're going to get started right away. We are where we left off in Oxford, Ohio, Miami University Airport. Oxford, Ohio is that city you see in the distance there through the fog. I'm quite amused by the low visibility and the overcast because this is real world weather, but in the real world it's clear skies and zero wind, but we have a 7-knot wind and a low visibility in the sim. I refreshed the data, and this is what it gave me, but that's okay. It'll be fun. We're going to take off then on runway 23, which is right in the center of your screen, and head into the wind, make a U-turn, and head towards Mid-Ohio Valley Regional Airport, which is actually in Parkersburg, West Virginia, right on the border of West Virginia and Ohio. Depending on what the wind actually is there when we get there, I have the GPS approach printed out for runway 21. So if it's a different kind of wind, we might have to go visual at that point because I don't have a chart for that. But pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's sunrise, 6 a.m. right on the nose. And I'm just enjoying the scenery. We don't get to see this very much. In fact, I'm going to screenshot this right now because that looks amazing. So anyway, let's get down to the aircraft. We are ready for boarding. We have the lights on inside. You can see the cabin lights from the outside, which I just love. But we also have a preset so we can see inside. We also have a preset to look backwards too, which I believe is this one. There we go. Very nice. But we're going to hop inside. So what are we going to do first here? I got my checklist reorganized from the last time due to some changes in X-Plane 11.10, which I talked about last time. We're not doing replay, we're doing wait. Hour 25 minutes, good enough. Let's see what we're doing. Let's open up the windows for some fresh air for right now. Let's also turn down our avionics light because that gets really bright and it kind of bugs me a little bit. There we go. That's the blue you see. So now there's less blue. All right, we're going to hop down here. We're going to go through this very quickly since we do the same thing every time. I'm just going to do things. I'm not going to worry too much about what we're doing other than we're just doing them. Remove that. Let's hop outside so we can remove our static elements and close our doors. And that mouse is in the middle of the screen. I apologize. Let's see. There we go. Everything is all closed up. People are getting comfortable. We will now come up here and emergency lights will go to whoops, not that one. I clicked on that one to normal. Autopilot. I don't know why it starts off the screen. EFIS, come down here, confirm the parking brake is set for engine start because we can't do anything else now until we started the engine. That's a change in X-Plane 11.10, which is more realistic that way as well, that you cannot start avionics until the engines are running. Check our main fuel, but we'll view auxiliary because it uses the auxiliary tank first in this aircraft, just like real life where we set all of our yoke things because they're always backwards for some reason. And we're going to get the right engine started up right away. And while this is starting up, I also want to mention that you may notice that my sim sounds are a little louder compared to my voice in normal. All previous 2 years of videos, I have made sure the sim volume was much less than my voice volume. However, then all you hear is my voice and you don't hear the sim. So for this video, I'm trying something new where the sim volume is much louder than it used to be. I'm hoping you can still hear me okay. Leave comments below, let me know what you think. And then I will go back. We're doing too many things at once here. I will go back and make adjustments to future videos if I need to turn the sim volume down, or if it's good, I'll keep it the way it is. It's just I'm missing the sounds of the airplanes. Yes, I know gyro will fix you in a moment. That's new for 11.10 as well. But I've been missing the sim sounds, and I just want to try this new balance of sim audio to voice audio. So there we go. It took me a long time to get through those 2 sentences because I'm doing so many things at once. We're waiting for that to stable on the turbine. And then we'll turn on the generator. There we go. What is next? Auto igniters off. And then avionics switch. And then AC bus. And now we can hit Y on our keyboard to reset our gyros. And hopefully they're happy. So let's go up here and check our compass, which I really need to make into a preset, because this is going to be every time now. So let me do that now. There's our compass. This is going to be number what? 20. So we got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Preset 20. So here we go. We're almost facing north. If we check, we're actually at 6 degrees on the GPS. Let's go over here. And I think that says 6 degrees. It does. So everything is correct there. Getting the hang of things. Turn off external power now. There we go. Rudder boost between the seats. Co-pilot climate, which I will check this auto thing later. It usually gets to be about 120 degrees if you do auto. So we'll see how it goes. While we're down here, we'll test overspeed and test stall. There we go. Alright, put that back in. We're done with you. Let's go to our GPS now. Put in our flight plan. I'm just going to quickly pop this in. Then I'll explain it as it's already in there. So I'll be right back. And there we go. If you're wondering why I'm going through this so quickly, it's because our previous video on the channel was a previous leg of this series. So for my regular viewers, it's the same thing like every time. And if you are a first-time viewer, I welcome you. Please subscribe and like, and check out the other videos to get more detail. I try to do different details in each video. I leave some things out on purpose, add some things on purpose, just for some variety. But in this case, I just want to get through this. So we're starting in Oxford, and we're going to go direct to Cadre. And it's going to be similar to last time, where it's going to take us out and beyond because of the direction we're headed. So when we get closer, we will do what we did last time, where we vector ourselves like our own ATC, so we don't have to go all the way out and back in for the GPS approach. We'll just vector ourselves to the GPS approach, which we'll talk about in detail when we get there. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, we'll definitely cover that as we go. So anyway, we got that all set. Let's hit CDI on here. Let's play with their Avidyne a little bit. Again, I'm not sure if weather actually just show up on here. I've yet to see it. We haven't had enough storms. I could always change weather right now to storms that we could test it, but I'll save that for a different flight. For this series, I like to keep things as realistic and true to life as normal. So we will just leave that as is. I have no radios because everything's on the GPS. We have to check our barometer now. So if we pull up our map for where we are, and click on Oxford. Whoop, that's the aircraft. We want to click on the airport. No, I want to click on the airport. Come on. There we go. Details 3003 for the barometer. So we'll just click this a couple times, like so. And we'll come up to, gosh, is it this preset? Yes, we'll test all of our cautions and warnings, make sure everything lights up so we know all the lights are good. Then we'll do cabin pressures. Let's go over here, turn on our environmental bleeds, come down here, we'll cruise at 16,000 like we always do. So we'll set this to 17,000, and we'll play with this thing as we go this time, because having some issues with our climb there. So there we go, there's that. Come back up front. Auto feathered arm, generator ties are closed. Come down here for anti-ice, stall warning of pitot heat. I'm not going to mess with engine anti-ice yet because I'm afraid that was causing our fires in another video where we start on fire on the runway. I'm going to play with that off camera and mess with that, see if I can start a fire on purpose. I also have to look up the actuators too. Otherwise, there we go, prop sync is on. Autopilot, let's set that up. We're going to cruise at 16,000 like usual. And there we go. Come up here. Let's see. Autopilot, we're going to use heading. We're going to climb. We're going to go back to our standard 2200. We'll use heading bug though for a while, then turn us around to our GPS path because we have to make a U-turn. I don't want to do GPS right away. I don't know which way it'll turn us. Otherwise, there we go. We are ready to taxi. Let's turn on these taxi lights and the nav light now. Props to taxi as well. So if you don't change, there we go. That's how you know you're in the taxi mode. Looking for a set of flaps down now. Let's hop outside. We will try to taxi this thing. We're going to go to the right. Sun is coming up fast, isn't it? And then to the left, to the right. Runway is right there. So let's just take the parking brake off and let the props do the work. Don't need any throttle at all. And all these trees really don't belong. When I modeled this thing, I set up exclusion zones for AutoGen, but ever since X-Plane 10.5, those rules kind of changed a little bit, I think. Especially when we landed at this place and we had to go through a bunch of trees because they're too close to the runway. Anyway, here we go. I'm just going to taxi on out like this. I'll actually stick with you when I taxi this time because it's so short. Again, this is all props. No throttle, just props at taxi. If we had props full, we'd be taking off pretty much. Let's go this way. There we go. Nice scenery. This is version 4 mesh, by the way. It will be for the rest of the series. I can't speak of the other flights in between, though, if it'll be version 4 or not. I'm not quite sure. Well, now the windsock's accurate, saying there's no wind. But it really shouldn't be. Alrighty. Let's just hop out onto the runway here. I have a hard time with the brakes. It's so sudden. Stop right there. Come down here and set the parking brake. Come up here. Autopilot. Set this to runway heading, which that's strange. Why was it already a runway heading? Is that a coincidence? That was just a coincidence. Creepy coincidence. Alright. Landing lights can come on. Taxi lights can come off. Cabin flood. And the back will flood that. Turn that off. So if you look, it's all dark now. She always look like out the window. Just waiting. Hanging out. Wondering what we're waiting for. What are we waiting for? Flaps down. Lights, lights, lights. Anti-collision to flights. Can't forget those. Trim for takeoff. Move it just a little bit like that. Alright. Heading bug is already runway heading. Let's start our timer. And we should be ready to go. So actually, let's come back down here. Props forward. We'll just do one set of flaps. And hold the brakes a minute until we spool up and level off. And away we go. We should not have any fires. We should have 5 minutes to mess with everything before we have to worry about engine management. I keep mentioning that because sometimes I'm on fire by the end of the runway. I haven't figured out why. Here we go. Gear up, flaps up. Looking over the front because it's so beautiful. Let's engage autopilot right now. Look at that. So smooth you couldn't even tell. That is great. Let's just have a look for a minute, then we'll manage our engines. Like I said, we have 5 minutes to do anything about it. But look at that low visibility. That's the highway going out to Indiana. We're actually over Indiana already. That quickly. There's a rainbow. Is that supposed to be there? Or is that just happenstance? Huh. Alrighty. Let's start turning. Then we'll manage our engines. We have to turn all the way around. All the way around. Let's line up this heading bug. Over past our course arrow there to get us lined up. Let's hide that. Let's come down here and manage some engines. I really want to look out the window, but we got to get this under control. And torque is down, props are down. Now let's have a quick look while we turn all the way around. What a beautiful sunrise. What beautiful mesh. Let's look outside a bit. We have enough under control that I think we can look outside. Look at that. Screenshot that one for sure. How nice is this? So since you were turning around, we're going to go over the city of Oxford, but I think we'll be in the clouds. There's Houston Woods right above the winglet there. Talked about that in the previous video. I used to live here for a year, that's why I point out details in case you weren't aware of that. There's the runway to our left. There we go, we're going to be parallel to the runway. Climbing up, everything is good. Off into the sunrise we go. Oh, how wonderful. And we're already in the clouds. You can see the beacon for the airport. How nice. I haven't had low visibility like this in a really long time. This is nice. Alright, what do we need to do? Oh my goodness, can't see anything. Well, look at the sun reflecting off the front of the aircraft. That's amazing. That's your X-Plane 11 at work, your PBR. Alright, let's figure out what happened to our course here. What? Where'd it go? There we go. I guess we're just zoomed in way too far. That's kind of funny. Alright, I want to get on track quickly though. So let's just move this left even more just so we can get on track faster. There we go. We'll just do that. Everything now is IFR, obviously, but we can still look. Oh, there's the city of Oxford. Perfect timing. There's the main road coming in, and then it does this little jog, and then the same road comes out, goes to Cincinnati. University is right here. Downtown is right there. All these neighborhoods, this is where all the college kids live. On the other side of this area is where all the very rich people who are not college kids live. And I say rich because you have to have a lot of money to live there if you're not a college student. There you go. Very cool. Alrighty, I can look at clouds all day. Oh, how nice is this? Let's screenshot that as well. Wow. I would be looking towards Cincinnati, but you can't see Cincinnati from here. If it weren't clouds, we would definitely see it, but from this view, the clouds obscure. But you can kind of see the interstate going into town right here. But too many clouds to see anything else. Wow, what an amazing morning this is. Alrighty, so what are we going to do? We're almost at 10,000 feet. We'll kill landing lights in a moment. But otherwise, after takeoff checklist. Flaps up, gear up, of course. Engines have been managed. At 10,000 feet, which is about now, we will turn off our landing lights. But I'm actually more interested in switching GPS or autopilot to nav. So that we intercept our nav course and don't blow through it like I did last time. Now we'll turn off our landing lights. And that, folks, is all there is to it. We are just going to ride this out. Holy cow, look at that. Wow. Let's just enjoy this for a moment. And then we'll set our vertical nav. Oh my gosh. Is it more interesting to be in the aircraft or outside? You guys tell me, guys and gals, and folks, just folks in general. You folks tell me, is it more beautiful to be in the aircraft like this, looking out the window? Or is it more beautiful to be outside like this, just having a look around like this? What is your preference? Looks like I just hit a button on my keyboard and I don't know what I did. Oh, we're getting across on top of the cloud layer now where it's overcast. This is SkyMaxx Pro, by the way, 4.6. Worth every penny. Look at that sunrise. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I like it from the outside. But at the same time, I like it from the inside. I can't decide. What do I like better? What do you like better? Let me know. Alright, it is time to get our vertical navigation set up, and then we'll be sightseeing, and I will hush my mouth. So here we go. Let's zoom this out a little bit more, though. It's moving way too quickly for me. Alright, vertical nav. We want to be... What do we want to be? What do we want to be? 3,000 feet. 3,000 feet. Mean sea level at what? Owave. And let's do our regular 1,000 foot. There you go. Simple as that. 3,000 feet at Owave. 1,000 foot descent. When our VSR gets to 1,000, we know it's time to descend. Or, because this is the 530, it tells us a time. That's going to go down very, very quickly, though, because we're about to level off. And we'll speed up like crazy. So that'll be top of descent right there. Simple enough. And then, is it... Are you able to see... Actually, this one we might not really have to cut a corner that much if you look at it. You know what? We might not need to vector ourselves. If you know what I'm talking about, in the previous leg, we came at the runway from the wrong side, you know, of course. So we had to go out to a waypoint and turn back, but instead we went all the way to the waypoint. We cut the corner and came back sooner. But we might not have to do this. This might actually line us up well enough. We don't need to cut a corner. Well, as long as we're at 3,000 feet by Oave, that's all that matters. And now our nav is gonna, our descent is gonna speed up quickly because we're going fast. So there we go. That's it. We are just gonna chill and do a whole bunch of sightseeing above the clouds. Oh, this is amazing. We're not missing anything on the ground, by the way. We're not passing any landmarks. We're not passing anything. The Appalachian Mountains are way to our south. So we're not going to miss them. So we're just going to look at clouds, I guess. But, alright, we have everything all ready to go. It is that simple. I'll catch you at top of descent. Alright, we're just about to reach top of descent, but before we do that, I wanted to look at our GPS route, and we won't be cutting any corners. We'll be following the GPS all the way down to minimums. So that'll be kind of nice and helpful. It's much simpler than the last time. Not as fun as doing your own vectors, but it'll be effective and get the job done correctly. Otherwise, 4 minutes now to top of descent. I wanted to go over here. Notice our auxiliary tanks are almost empty. When they get to 0, we'll switch our viewing to the main tanks. Our cabin pressure is just fine, so we did not get our low right fuel pressure thing, which doesn't seem to make sense why you would get a low pressure fuel light when your cabin differential is too high, but whatever. Who am I to question it? Otherwise, our speed, nowhere near overspeed today, which is interesting. So I guess I didn't set us up to go quite as quickly as I have in past trips, but that's okay. Otherwise, just looking around, everything is just beautiful, although it's been the same scenery the entire trip, but that's okay. It's nice to have some clouds every now and then. We've had a lot of clear skies. It would be nice to get some storms. It would be super awesome to see this Avidine light up with some storms, if it will. And we can vector ourselves around the storms. How fun would that be? I'm going to have to do some testing off camera to see if this even shows weather. It may or may not. I'll find out probably after I land this plane. I'll check that off camera. So next time I should know. Alright, to get ready for top of descent. So that will get us to 3,000 feet out of Oave. But we want to set our autopilot for minimums 1860s. Let's go down to 1,800 feet above mean sea level. I apologize, I'm losing my voice. Not sure what's going on. But there we go, 1,800. we'll be killing autopilot way before there. But that way we don't have to constantly step it down, which we would if we had a co-pilot. We would constantly step it down. But we're just going to set it to 1800. We will use our rate of descent and autopilot to step us down, though. And we'll follow the approach chart for that. But we're going to enter the approach at 3,000 feet. And we'll step it down to 2,800 and then 1,860 with autopilot using descent rate. Well, as there we go, we're just going to sit here for another minute 33 seconds. Alright, and it is time to descend. Our VSR is below 1,000, so we're not behind. So we will switch that to there for now, come up here. We will descend at 1,000 feet per minute as planned. Nav and alt select are already selected. Let's head over here though. There we go. Empty on the auxiliary tanks. Let's switch to the main tanks. Now we're not switching sources. That's what this automatic stuff is over here. We're selecting what we're viewing. That's all that is. And we're going to way more fuel than we need. Of course, I always overfill the fuel. Otherwise, all we need to do now is just watch our speed. Our speed is going to increase as we head downwards. And I'm about to hit the soup, but we're just going to manage our systems. Keep an eye on everything. We want to be at 3,000 feet at our waypoint, which is 10 minutes out. Alright, we're about to hit 10,000 feet, so let's turn on the landing lights. And, something I forgot to mention, I was doing some frame rate stuff off camera, and we are in the mid-30s. With all these cloud swirls and everything, we're getting about 32 frames per second. I know that's sometimes better than clear skies because then there aren't objects to draw, but I'm just happy that we can be in heavy cloud cover like this, about to enter the soup. We're in the low to mid-30s. That is so exciting. Speaking of entering the soup, here we go. We're entering the soup right now. But there's something else we had to do, and I forgot what it was, because I wasn't planning on talking about frame rates. Oh yes, I remember. Landing lights on. Barometer, altimeter at the destination airport to 3005. Let's switch this to 3005. There we go. Approach checklist complete. Too early for flaps, too early for gear by a long shot. I mean, this is 50-mile range. We're about 45 out. There we go. That is a nice approach to that runway, by the way. I'm very pleased to see that. These are some thick clouds that we're in. There is nothing to see except white with the occasional break. There's a nice break. Wow, I love this. This is what I love about clouds, is when you have a break in the clouds like that. Oh man, that is so awesome. And a nice high frame rate. Oh, so exciting. So very exciting. Alright, now it's all white again. Alright, let's see where we're at here. Alright, we might be descending a little too quickly. We're at 7,000 feet. What I say we need 3,000 feet. I'll wait until we get closer to 3,000 before I back us off a little bit. That doesn't even look like a simulator. This is version 4 mesh, by the way, if I didn't already say so at the beginning of the video. HD mesh version 4. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that is incredible. I just don't know what to say. This is amazing. And then coupled with high frame rates, which I talk about a lot because for the longest time I wasn't even able to get 20 frames per second. I made a few adjustments, and with a few updates, our frame rates are in the 30s in this scenario, which is much more usable, much more attractive. It looks like we have clouds all the way to the ground layer. So in real life, this might not be a possible approach since we're not ILS and we're not category 2 or 3. Looks like we're turning. There we go. We need to be at 3,000 feet at our next waypoint. And we're at 4,009. So we have a little ways to go. Oh yeah, this is definitely the foothills of the Appalachians. Look at that. No doubt about it. Even when we lived in Oxford, Ohio, outside of Cincinnati, some people considered us the foothills of the Appalachians. That might have been pushing it a little bit, but I could kind of see why people would say that. Because we got to be careful here. We can't just come down like we have in the other legs. We got to really plan this carefully. So 3,000 by this next leg, or by this next waypoint. 2,800 only by the next waypoint, so only 200 feet. So you got to be really careful. And then we'll get gear down and flaps down as soon as we make this next leg. Yeah, we got to be very careful because we only have to come down 200 feet. And we're at 34 now. Let's slow down our descent even more. Let's slow down our overall speed now. Lead off some speed. Ready for flaps and gear. Do we see the airport yet out there? I don't think so, but man, look at this scenery. This is crazy. We're going to keep autopilot on as long as we can so we can have as much sightseeing time as we can. Because we all know I cannot sightsee and fly at the same time. Look at this. I just don't know what to say. Look at this. Wow. This is definitely foothills to Appalachians. I don't think this is Appalachians yet. I think we got a little ways to go before we're in the actual Appalachian Mountains. Oh, there's our runway off to the right. You see the beacon? There, we got to slow down a lot. Looks like we're going to go over a river too. Actually, yes, we are. I knew that. Alright, let's see. 2,800. See, we're at our next waypoint, so let's bring this to 0. We are at our altitude for the next waypoint. I was too busy sightseeing. So we're just going to level off here. And we'll keep our speed up a little bit until we make this corner. And here we go. There we go. There's our runway. We're just going to fly it straight in. Let autopilot do the work for a little bit more here. So the next waypoint, we want to be at 2,800. After that, we want to go down all the way to 1,800, which is 1,000 feet. So you got to come down 1,000 feet all of a sudden in that next little tiny waypoint. Look at that. Not much distance to go 1,000 feet down, so we'll see how that goes. Let's get gear down now. We'll wait on the flaps just a moment. Props forward, though. Actually, nope, that puts them in the red. Let's bring props back yet. A little bit of throttle. Runway lit up. Let's take out the binoculars a moment. Look at that. We get to see some city action too. Nice. Keep our speed up a little bit. Alright, let's keep our speed and everything like this. Do a couple final looks outside. Gear is down. No flaps yet. So we're going to put the flaps down as late as we can. Look at this. I'll screenshot that for sure. And let's look over here a little bit. Yes, this is definitely the foothills of the Appalachians. I don't believe it's actually the Appalachians, though. I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. Alright, now we'll do props forward. First set of flaps, which autopilot does not like flaps. We're still not at our waypoint yet. So we're still going to stay level. Although I think it says we're too high on the PAPI though, but this is a published approach. Let's go autopilot. Why not? Let's fly this thing in. Let's descend now a little bit, because there we are. Our flaps made us go up 100 feet. Let's bring throttles back so we can lose that 100 feet. Because we're right at our waypoint, we should be 2,800. There we go. Now we need to come down 1,000 feet, and we have a minute to do it. So that's 1,000 foot per minute drop, which are about 800 right now. Runway in sight, so this would be a realistic landing without ILS or anything. Look at that farm below us. Oh my gosh, let's screenshot that. Holy cow, the river. Remember, this is HD Mesh version 4. This is not default, but it is freeware. Oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to be sightseeing, am I? We're going to get way thrown off track. Still only one set of flaps. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. Incredible. Crossing over into West Virginia, by the way. Ohio in the foreground, West Virginia in the background. We're still doing one set of flaps yet. I don't want to go too slowly because then it just delays our just delays our descent. So, alt alert. I'm glad I have it. It reminds me that we're at what our autopilot was set to be. Speaking of that, let's kill all the autopilot stuff. We don't need to see any of this. Just get rid of all that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Incredible. Look at all the reflections on the window. I never noticed that before. Alright, now we'll slow down a little bit while we cross this river. Wow. Alright. Slowing down more. Second set of flaps. I'm going to fight the float here. Oh, I'm fighting the floating. There we go. Approach speed 110 knots. We'll land just shy of 100 knots. And I promise to flare this time. I've been having issues of not wanting to flare because of the pre-X-Plane 11.10 issues with the getting sucked into the runaway ground effect. I kind of given up on my landings, but now everything's working. And our test landing a couple videos back went great, so no excuses. Just on glide slope. Looks like we have quite a crosswind. Well, maybe not. Just a little. So that means if I want to do this appropriately, I will tip the wing to the right, land on the right main first, and use a little bit of left rudder. But we'll see. It's not that much of a crosswind. Okay. Coming a little faster than I want to now. Let's slow down. Not that much. Alright, let's get ready to do our flare here. Just over the threshold. It's a long runway. We're not in a hurry. We're at our landing speed a little too soon, but that's okay. There's the threshold. Losing my voice just in time. Let's start our flare this time. Let's see if I can actually do this. There's our flare now. Come back. There we go. There we go. Nose wheel down a little sooner than I wanted, but I didn't slam it. So there we go. Brakes, reversers, although we don't need them. Roll this one out. I've finally broken my habit of not rolling out my landings. I used to come to a complete stop, and then I would start again. Ooh, let's see. We're going to have to look at where we are. It's a big airport, but I don't know where we're going to taxi to, so let's just get past the stop line here. We'll have a little look around. Alright, let's stop right here, set the parking brake. Let's have a look around and see where we are here, because I don't know the airport. Okay, we can go that way, I guess. Oh, there's nothing over here. Oh yeah, that's kind of... Actually, that might be where we want to go, is over there. In the background, looks like a signature type thing. I don't know, let's just go to this hangar in front of us. Let's just do that. Alright, let's bring our props back to taxi. There we go. Let's hop out here and let this thing taxi. So actually, you know what? I forgot to do something. Am I looking around? We have to just set up for a taxi. Let's oh, not that one. This one. There we go. And this one turns everything on. That makes it look like this back there. Let's come up here and stop our clock. 46 minutes flight time. What else? Anti-collision to ground as well. Now we can taxi over to that hangar that we saw. Let's hop outside. I like taxiing outside. There we go. It's still morning. 6 a.m. plus 46 minutes means it's almost 7 a.m. Very nice. Actually, probably after 7 a.m. because by the time we did all of our startup. This is all props, by the way, in taxi mode. No throttle at all. We use our brakes, that all or nothing braking system. Oh, that's so awesome. Let's kill the conditioners. Now, before I turn everything off, I want to try something. I want to set up storms and see if it shows up on the Avidyne. Let's just do that quick. Let's see. Let's go to weather. Not that one. Flight setup. Here we go. Customize weather. Let's give ourselves some storms. Oh, our Avidyne does show storms. Look at that. We should be able to zoom out on one. Well, not that one. That radar doesn't show anything, though. Well, that's terrain radar. Oh my gosh, let's zoom out on this. The big one? The big one. What's the small one do? That zooms out. Oh, the big and small do the same thing. Look at that. The Avidyne does show storms. Oh, I'm so excited. And our HSI shows storms. I don't think our HSI is supposed to show storms. I think that's an error that Carenado has. Oops, sorry about the thunder in your ears. Sorry about that. But the Avidyne shows storms. That makes me happy. Let's keep these storms on. I like the rain effects. Do our wipers work? Where are the wipers in here? I thought they were on the co-pilot side. Where are they? Yeah, here they are. Co-pilot side. Slow? I guess we're not running. So it's probably... Oh, there we go. Come on. Slow. Slow. There we go. The wipers work. Look at all that. Oh my gosh, how awesome is that? I have a feeling they're going to turn off though when I kill some stuff. But let's turn on external power. When I kill the battery, I bet they turn off. Nope. I guess external power will keep them running. Right, well, let's keep them running. That's pretty fun. What else are we going to turn off here? Let's open that up. All of our lights and everything are the way they should be. Correct? Yes, they are. What's my preset for my door? This one. Open up the door. Let's get static elements out. I'll get the baggage handling ready to go. Oh, look at window reflections turn themselves off when it was raining. You see that? That's interesting. Oh, it's getting wet in here. Let's close this up too. Oh, neat. How neat is that? Avionics can come off. Oh, this is so cool. Let's get her to go back in there. All right, let's hop outside. Oh, look at, you can see the wipers operating from the outside. Fun. Well, hopefully it'll rain in the real world so we can see some storms during our trip on the series, because I'm only using real world weather and we haven't had rain yet. 12 legs, 13 legs, whatever. What are we on? 12 legs? 12 legs, no weather until I turn it on myself. Some super awesome clouds, though. We've had some super amazing approaches with our clouds. But anyway, thank you for flying. Welcome to West Virginia. We made it through the Midwest. The train will get more interesting now, and we should have some things to look at now as well. So hopefully the weather cooperates enough, and we can see some landmarks and things in the coming legs. Next video, though, will not be Transcontinental. I have a goofy aircraft planned for the next video, so stay tuned, and I'll catch you on the next one.